This is Larry Bonerato from LarryOnLearning.com, and this is your Morning Minute. Do we need more or less government? That is a primary question for the citizens of the United States. The answer to that question requires a look back at the writing of our founders. George Washington, quote, "Virtue or morality is a necessary spring of popular government," and, quote, "human rights can only be assured among a virtuous people," end quote. Benjamin Franklin, quote, "Only a virtuous people are capable of freedom," end quote. James Madison, quote, "To suppose that any form of government will secure liberty or happiness without any virtue in the people is an imaginary ideal," end quote. And Thomas Jefferson, "No government can continue good but under the control of the people, and their minds are to be informed by education of what is right and wrong, to be encouraged in the habits of virtue, and to be deterred from those of vice," end quote. And John Adams, our Constitution was made only for a moral and religious people. It is wholly inadequate to the government of any other," end quote. Our freedom is not given to us by any worldly government. Our Declaration of Independence plainly states that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights, and that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, end quote. If our rights and our freedom come from God, do we need more or less government? Based on our Declaration of Independence and the writings of our founders, the answer is, it depends. Virtue and morality are required for a free people to govern themselves with less government. Virtue is the conformity of one's life and conduct to moral and ethical standards, including honesty, integrity, responsibility, and being of good character. Morality is defined by our Creator, who gave us the rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. His standard of morality is shared with us in His book, the Bible. People being of good character who are virtuous and moral are capable of governing themselves. They do not require an ever-expanding government to explain what is right and what is wrong. Those who live their lives without good character, who are dishonest, immoral, and irresponsible, who conduct their lives ignoring the standards of virtue that are shared in the Bible, will always require more government. And where more government is required, you will find more corruption and dishonesty from those who run it. This answer does not mean that you must be perfect to be capable of self-government. Because we are all human, we will all make mistakes, sometimes follow the wrong path, and cause pain and suffering to others. Good character requires that we admit our mistakes, reform our actions, and strive to hold ourselves to a higher standard. Thus, the answer to our need for more or less government is wholly dependent on our personal virtue, character, and morality, and that of our fellow citizens. So I ask again, do we need more or less government? And that is today's Morning Minute.